Hi, you guys, it's Mrs. Leus. I am going over your review for Chapter 1. So please keep in mind that Chapter 1 test is happening this week, and right now you are doing some review work to get ready for your test when you take it this week. So I'm really just going to go through all of the review, and I want you to copy it down. I want you to pause where you might need help, and I want you to be ready to come ask me for help, okay? Okay, so right here, we're going to work with vocabulary. Number 1, decimals that have the same value are what? What does it mean to have the same? It means that they are equivalent decimals. So we're going to fill that in. Number 2, blank is a system for writing numbers. In this system, the position of a digit determines its value. So this is called place value. The usual or common way to write a number is called standard form. So remember, standard form is like a number 37.1. It's written in numbers. The way of writing a number as the sum of the values of its digits is called expanded form. So when I take the number 125, I'm going to expand it by going 1 times 100 plus 2 times 10 plus 5 times 1. Because a 1 is in the hundreds place, a 2 is in the tens place, and a 5 is in the ones place. All right, number 5. A what is a number that has a digit in the tenths, hundredths, and or beyond. That would be a decimal. So for example, 2 and 426 thousandths has numbers sitting in the tenths, hundredths, and beyond. Number 6. The blank is a period separating the ones and the tenths in a decimal number. So this is also like a decimal, but we call it the decimal point. So in the number 4.2, this decimal point is separating the ones place from the tenths place. Number 7, a blank is a chart that shows the value of the digits in a number. So that would be place value chart. And there is our vocab. So it's important that you guys understand these vocabulary words, get familiar with them. If you still have questions, definitely come let us know when it's time to ask Mrs. Leus for help. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to page 68. Let's see what it wants us to do. It says name the place of the highlighted digit, then write the value of the digit. So I'm going to go ahead and do number 8. The highlighted digit is a 5. We need to name the place it's in. Where is this sitting according to our place value chart? It's sitting in the thousands place. It's very important you spell it correctly. Use your place value chart if you need help. Place value chart, again, has the thousands place. Okay, write the value of the digit. How much is it worth? Well, it's a 5 and it's sitting in the thousands place, so it's worth 5,000. That's the value. Next, name the place of the highlighted digit. This highlighted digit is a 6, and it's sitting in the millions place, so we're going to write millions. It's a 6 sitting in the millions place, so we know that the value is 6 million. Number 10, write each number in standard form. So here they have it written out with some words. We need to make sure we rewrite the entire thing just in standard form. Standard form should be written in numbers. So we have 94,237,108. Here it is in expanded form. I'm going to write my answer below. 8 times 1 million means there's an 8 in the millions place. 5 times 10,000 means there's a 5 in the 10,000s place. Notice I had to put a 0 in the 100,000s because that was not stated above. So that tells me there was a 0 sitting in the 100,000s. This 5 is in the 10,000s, and there it's sitting there. I have a 2 in the thousands place, and then just a 6 in the hundreds place, which means there is a 0 in the tens and a 0 in the ones. So your number for number 11 is 8,052,600. Let's go down to number 12 and 13. They're telling us to shade the model to show each fraction. Then write the fraction as a decimal. This is a very important part. I want you guys to make sure you ask me for help if you don't understand. You're going to have these questions on your test this week. Number 12. This says 19 hundredths. So that would mean I need to shade 19 out of 100. So there's 10 and there's 19. I'm going to stop right there. So I shaded it, but now I need to write this as a decimal. Remember, I want you to think of the number 19 as its number, but you need to make sure that this last digit, which is a 9, needs to be sitting in the hundreds place. If it's sitting in the hundreds place, my decimal should go here, as this is the tenths, and this is the hundredths. So we did it correct. Your decimal should be decimal 19. Number 13, we have 8 out of 10, right? So I would need to shade 8 out of 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I need to write that as a decimal. That means I have an 8 sitting in the 10th spot. So that would be decimal 8 because this is the 10th place in our place value chart. And there we go. All right, let's do number 14 and 15, and then that's all you're doing for your review for today. Write each number in standard and expanded. They gave it to us in word form. We need to change it into standard, then we need to change it into expanded. Let's do standard form first. 5 and would be a decimal, 9 tenths. That means a 9 is sitting in the tenths place. Now let's write it in expanded. That would be 5 times 1, because I have a 5 in the ones place, plus parentheses, because we're at the decimal numbers, a 9 times 1/10, because a 9 is sitting in the tenths place. Now let's do number 15. 712 thousandths. Careful with that spelling. Notice it's a decimal. So that would be 712 thousandths. Now, because it says THS, that means it's a decimal. This reads 712 thousandths. Now let's do expanded form. So that would be parentheses. 7 times 1/10, because there's a 7 in the 10th spot, plus parentheses. 1 times 1/100th, because there's a 1 sitting in the hundredths place, plus, and I'm going to actually write it down here so you guys can see, parentheses, 2 times 1,000th, because there's a 2 sitting in the thousandths place. Okay, you guys, so I want you to make sure that you review all of these ones that we did today, and I want you to review the vocab we did. Be ready for your questions if you have any, and then we will continue our review later.